go. We are live. This is what we're going to call today Discover Downstate Illinois, as we are coming live to you from the city of Belleville. You should feel right at home, Gordon, don't you?
I do feel right at home. You know, I grew up in Belleville, so
Yeah.
I grew up, there was a Dairy Queen right down by the railroad tracks.
You and
there's
Casey were talking about all your
we're
little
trailer
home.
park kids. I grew up in that trailer park right by Thompson Gas.
What does a trailer park kid mean? Like, what does that mean to be?
I don't know, but I loved it. It had a circle drive.
You could
so I'd
find your
ride
mom
my
and dad quickly.
Yeah, I rode my bicycle around there. I mean, it was really cool. And the house behind us, I don't know who owned it at the time, but it was a beautiful big white house, two-story house, and they had a goldfish pond in the front of their house. And I used to go over there all the time and just mess with the goldfish, throw them bread and do stuff. And then,
How are we infatuated
what,
with them?
What better life could you have as a kid that you live literally 30 steps from, it was a little quick trip, so it was like 30 steps from a candy store every day. I mean, all I had to do was go around the back, go down those little concrete steps.
Buy
hit that little
yourself an
quick
ice
trip,
cream or a candy
get my
bar?
candy right there. I was good to go, man. It was Belleville, Thompson Gas, and then my sister was good friends with the Thompson Gas and the people that owned it. Susie Thompson, that was her name. And but yeah, it was a great time. And Belleville's just a great place to live, especially growing up as a kid. They had an amazing swimming pool, the Belleville swimming pool, municipal pool.
So lots of fun.
The fountain, the square, which we'll talk about later, but the
Right.
fountain, and we'll talk about that.
Maybe we
too.
should let people know where we're at.
We're in Belleville,
Gordon just
Illinois.
went down memory lane and
You got me started, get me all excited.
he just got carried away there, right there. So we are right now, you can see behind us, it's such a cool place, very eclectic. We are in Pour322 Coffee House, which has a door adjoined. It's a father and son team. And every time I mention Grimm and Gorly to anyone, they're like, oh my gosh, I used to go there, or we used to live out there, or we drive out there, we get all our flowers there. They're just, everybody's talking about the store. And until last year, when we were here, I had never had the privilege of being here. And so to come back a second time and then just to keep hearing, in fact, Casey, our creative director, Casey Pierce says, oh my gosh, my mom loves that place. She knows Jeff. And so Zack Bair and Zach, they are a father and son team, and they have these amazing places. We're going to be finding out a brand new, they're just going to own the whole street pretty soon. They're just going down the street.
And I got a little secret to tell Jeff later about the new place.
Will you tell me too?
Yeah, I'll tell you too.
So we can all be in on
Yes,
it,
yes.
everybody that's watching.
Absolutely.
So we're on if you've never been to Belleville, there is just this darling, quaint street, and there's a gorgeous fountain. We're going to meet Wendy. I should have asked how to say it. I think maybe it's Feel or Peel. Feel? How do you put a PF together? We got Wendy that's going to be here with us. She's the president, CEO of the Greater Belleville Chamber of
Thanks for
Commerce.
tuning in.
And so I have to butcher someone's name today. So she's going to be with us. You got a fun game for us too, right?
We do. We're going to see how well our coffee shop owners know coffee.
Well, what's really sad is, years ago, you came to my coffee shop, and I never even knew you when you came to the doors, but I had a coffee shop, so we'll see if I even have any knowledge anymore.
Timing is everything.
I just drink it now. I don't have to make it anymore, so that makes the difference. So we're going to talk about how they've opened a new place, and, like you were talking about earlier, I cannot believe that I already hate the word pumpkin, and we haven't even started yet.
I know, it's kind of like Halloween and Christmas now. It's like pumpkin spice comes out 2 months before October now.
There were pumpkin Cheerios in July.
Everything's pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Everything.
Isn't there another flavor that we could work into the October
I would
month?
think maybe like an apple, like an apple crisp.
But maybe they already
apples and
have that
pumpkin.
stuff, and
Yeah,
pumpkins
the
only come out.
Pumpkin's the one, yeah.
Carly, my daughter, remember in the backyard? She lives in a, normal subdivision. She has pumpkins the size of my body
What's
growing in her
normal? What do you
backyard.
classify normal?
Well, like a subdivision, not a trailer park kid like yourself.
Oh, wow. I apologize to all of you living in a
Yeah,
trailer park.
exactly.
Yeah. Wow. We're going to get flagged. Ding, ding, ding.
No, I didn't mean that in a bad way. I meant like a subdivision, like where you have the neighbor's yards are next to the neighbor's
Okay,
yard.
so, yeah.
Regular
So what
backyard.
does she have in her backyard? She has
Pumpkins the size of a body.
the size of a body.
they're huge.
Talking Kylan's body, or are we talking my body?
Well, to grow a pumpkin in your backyard, a
big.
normal
I'm just messing with
backyard. You sure are. You got me all stumped right now. And I'm looking at the Facebook right now, and I can see like the tablecloth, and it's crooked. So that's going to drive me crazy. I'm not going to be able to look at the photos anymore. So you know what we need to do, don't you?
What do we need to do? Kylan?
We need to bring Jeff on the show. Hopefully Zach is somewhere. They're both there. They've got their dogs here. Their family has grown since we were last year. They had one dog that we fell in love with, and then apparently now they have its brothers and sisters or cousins and that. And so every family member has got a doodle poodle or whatever
Yeah,
they're
I
called.
was kind of setting up, so I kind of missed the whole conversation about the dogs.
Well,
so
we'll
have to
let
figure
them
about
fill us
that.
in with them. So let's bring Jeff and Zach over. Christine Orr, she was so kind. She is with Discover Downstate Illinois, who got this all set up, and it's so fun that Jeff and Zach have brought us back on again to kind of touch base, because there's a lot of new things since we have been here last. So welcome to the show. We've got Jeff Bair and Zack Bair here with us, and I guess you started out. Are you going to pull them up so we can see them as I'm introducing them, or we thought we were just going to stay on the photo again? So, hi guys.
Hi, how
Thanks
are
for
you?
having us back.
Thanks for coming.
This is off. Is the lighting good for you? Do we need to do any effects for you? Do we got this?
I think we're fine.
Luckily, it doesn't have the like Instagram, the photo apps that they have. My daughter is like a photo app freak, and so she puts her kids on with us, and they've got mascara and lipstick on. It just goes right on over to the next. We haven't figured out how to do that and make us look better. And also a slim app. I want a skinny
I'd love
app.
Slim app.
I'd like to have that too. So we are back, of course, Grimm Gorly. Give it, for those that, of course, didn't see the show or haven't been here, tell us a little bit, because that was the founding, where you started was with Grimm Gorly, right?
It was. I mean, we purchased Grimm Gorly 25 years ago from the Rice family. We're only the third owners of the business.
Three's a charm.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been here in our original site here on the corner 25 years. You can't miss this. It's a giant pink building, that's for sure. And then 15 years ago, we purchased this building. And then 10 years ago, opened the coffee shop. And Zach came aboard somewhere when he was about 9, so somewhere in all of that.
Started helping out.
Yeah, literally.
Grew up
And so,
in here.
Yeah, and so he did, and so did the rest of the kids. But thank God he took hold of the situation, because the rest are like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Thank
no.
goodness you got one of them that
Yeah,
wanted
no
to be by
kidding.
your side.
No kidding.
Do you find that it's easy to work together? Do you ever have days where
No, we fight all the time.
Yeah. I'd rather fight with him for 5 minutes than anybody else for 5 days. That's for
that's
sure.
true,
Yeah,
or
that's
as
for
long
sure.
as it can
Yeah.
possibly go.
It's just when you're family or spouse, or you get it, right?
We'll be showing some new photos that we took when we came in, of course. Gordon has some different photos in that, I think. I'm not sure what he has, but oh my gosh, your decor and the things that you think of that you have over there are not like anything that I have seen. And I love the broomstick. That's plumes, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That you've made this broom. Did
He
you do
made them,
that?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
you're extremely creative as well.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that.
And the little masks for the kids.
Oh, those are
They
fantastic.
light up,
Yeah,
they're
they light
awesome.
up.
They light up.
Yeah.
I
That's
missed
mud
that
pie.
part.
We have a huge mud pie collection. It's awesome.
We're gonna, Casey, I know you're busy, or maybe we'll send Christine over. If you could bring one of those masks that are by the front desk, Casey's running to get one, so we can actually show it off. It's so adorable. It looks like
They are
something
fun.
that you do this project, with your family. First thing she did is said, "Oh my gosh, Mac, I got to bring Macklin here so we can get a mask." So, I mean, you've got everything for every age over there.
We try. We really
Literally,
do.
yeah.
Not to mention your florals.
Well, thanks.
But, I
Thanks.
mean-
It's been a lot of, and a good thing. All of it good. We could not be happier with the way things have progressed over the years, and where we're at now is just just a really great spot. It makes you feel good about what
Yeah.
you've been doing, and having him here with me is just amazing.
And what
So-
made you decide to come on over, take this next space, which we're in right now for the show, and turn that into a coffee house, which who doesn't? In fact, Casey, who is our creative director, I said, "You're coming with us today, right?" And she says, "Coffee house, duh." And then she started talking about how her mom knew you from back in
Yeah.
her days when she lived
How
here.
awesome
And
is that? I
yeah.
mean, I would have never put that together just without her saying, "Hey, do you know my mom?" and blah blah blah. And then
She
it's
says,
on, right?
"Jeff says I look like my mom. I don't look like, you look just like your mom with long dark
Oh,
hair."
I think she does too.
Why do kids do that? So what do I do this way? Here's the cat,
Here, hold on there. I'll
a
give it
little
to you.
unicorn, got there, a little close-ups. This the pirate, aren't they adorable? And then there's like, you know, where you wear it on the, to put it around the face. But there's Franken. Okay, I gotta show one more, sorry. That's adorable or what? Oh my gosh. All right, I love these. I had to show those off. So here you are, you've got Grimm Gorly, so successful. Incredible business from florals to everything else, the retail and decor that you carry. And then you decide,
Well, you know, I
duh,
always
we
thought-
need a coffee
but,
house.
I mean, it just kind of goes together. We kind of threw cupcakes into the mix with the flowers a few years after being open, after we purchased Grimm and Gorley, we added cupcakes, and that was like an add-on thing to our flowers. And then, you know, if you have cupcakes, you got to have something to wash it down with. So we have to have a
Exactly.
coffee shop, and then why not have chocolate? Because well, you got to
well,
have chocolate.
life really is not even worth living
No,
without
not
chocolate.
without a decent
and
truffle.
anybody says that they don't like chocolate, I just can't even be friends with them.
I do not.
But we're not friends.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I'll just keep your dog.
Yeah. There are some days he'd
That is
probably
fine.
say,
Some
okay.
days I would say okay.
You know, so there is somebody, I don't know who told me the story, because it is always weird when someone says they don't like chocolate, or they're not a sweet person, or because you're just like, I mean, we live for that. That's the whole reason for getting up, and I don't even want to go to anybody's birthday or wedding if they don't have cake. I get invited, and the first thing I do, are you having cake? And then okay, I'll be there. But there is something in the actual, I don't know, your genes, now I'm having to talk about it without really remembering the whole story, but there's something in your genetics that makes chocolate. Oh, I know, it was Dot who was telling me about it. Dot was telling me about it. She says she makes cookies and cakes and all these things for people as a profession, and she doesn't like chocolate, and she's not a real big sweet person either.
She makes them for others.
Yeah, and she said there's something genetically in your glands that makes chocolate taste weird to you, like it gives an awful flavor, like vegetables taste to me. Even though I
I'm in on
eat
that
them.
one. Yeah.
But
Don't
yeah,
have room
so
for veggies,
she said
but I
you
have room for-
can't wonder why it's genetically in there. Does it taste weird to you? Does it have a weird
You know what?
aftertaste?
Well, I can't eat it because it's dairy. So first and foremost, so no dairy. And
Yeah.
but also there's the smell. There's nothing.
So if you did taste it, it probably has that taste
yeah,
as
I would
well.
imagine
That's what
there's
she
just
said.
nothing desirable about the smell of chocolate. And honestly, the smell of dairy, even before I had to stop drinking it, could not stomach it at all.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, but I mean, luckily we have accessible alternatives here, which is even better. So.
Yes, and it will accept you because we
Will
understand
accept
now
you.
that
God,
it's
I
a
feel so
genetic
blessed.
problem.
I feel so blessed.
He definitely didn't get that gene
We'll
from me.
accept you, so you love it.
Oh, my God.
And how about your mom? How about
Oh,
your wife?
she loves sweet.
Okay, so it's
sure.
just something, yeah, genetically.
I think I'm probably the only kid.
I think so.
Yeah, I would
Because
tell you.
there is dairy-free chocolate, which is just as delicious in my world as the
But does that
regular
smell
chocolate.
weird still to
I
you
just,
then?
won't do
I
it,
just
yeah.
don't even. I pretend
Isn't
it doesn't
that?
exist.
Well, luckily you have other things, like there's a donut up there that's like that much layer of icing on it.
The red velvet.
Yeah, I started to shake on that one a little bit.
And then there's the apple cider one with caramel.
If I walk in a store that has cakes and bakery items, shoes and purses, if you'd mix those three, I'd never leave. I would just start trembling. Doctor would think I need medicine or whatever. So,
Just get her a credit card.
yeah.
Exactly.
So you added the coffee.
We did.
All the
So-
wonderful treats.
But actually, that's something Dad always wanted to add coffee. I mean, for years and years, he wanted to add coffee, which I was never opposed to. But when I worked in St. Louis and we didn't work together, that was like the only time we really got together or got to talk. It was like brief, intermittent on the phone, and then he would just say, like, just meet me for a coffee, and we would go and we'd sit, and it was like the only time we had to like connect. It was probably about 25 minutes per session because that's the only time we each had.
Yeah.
But people had always said to us, we wish that we could just stay here. Well, so we did. We sort of added what we loved about coffee and what it did for people because no one really talks anymore. I mean, it's
No.
a minute-long video
No,
on
in fact, we should
TikTok
just
or-
be texting each
Yeah.
other for the show.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just not as I don't know. There's just something sexy about a legitimate conversation and a really great cup of coffee and being able to actually sit down and enjoy yourself. And
So
I think
true.
that's actually important. I mean, we were raised on conversation, so
Right.
you know that I think is something that a lot of younger generations just disregard. It makes me sad, but I mean, we have
Us
a
too.
have
We
a
talk
great,
about it all the time. How much we miss that. Because you don't, I mean, remember when the phone would ring and you'd go sliding, because the phone was attached to the wall
Yeah,
at that
right,
time.
right.
You would go sliding across the floor to who could get it first, and the cord would go from here to outside your door. You had one of those
Yes.
cords, you had to be able to get around. It's like having a cordless. You just had a really long cord. But remember, I mean, you couldn't wait for the phone to ring and couldn't wait for someone to knock on your door. Now we hide and we keep caller ID, or well, it automatically tells you on the phone. If we see private, you don't answer it.
No,
we
that's
don't
very
want that
true.
surprise anymore.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Most days I'm thrilled for text. I love hiding. It's like, no,
love
I
hiding.
cannot show up. I'm so sick. You know, and you're sitting there with a glass of wine. And you're just like,
Yeah.
thank God nobody can see me. But
Just sick of that person that's calling.
yeah, or
and
like
I-
you just pray to God you didn't accidentally hit FaceTime, you know, and not realize it.
And
But
forget.
how awkward for everyone. But yeah, I mean, so we added the coffee, and we did originally start with a local St. Louis roaster, and it was great, and things were going well. But we really decided we wanted to do our own thing.
Yeah.
And so it took about a year. I mean, we really tested some product out, and we tested coffee out, and we knew what we wanted. We knew what flavor notes we wanted, and we found an incredible roaster. It's roasted only for us, and the coffee is really, our espresso is absolutely
You've
stunning.
changed your coffee. You were saying that
Yeah.
since the last time we were here.
Right.
And not, when I say changed, you are doing your own
Yeah,
coffee
It's our own.
beans.
It's our own mixture of bean, I guess.
It
our
is,
own-
yeah.
Yeah, our own.
You know, you hear people talk and they'll say, gosh, I can't believe, I just spent this on a coffee or whatever. But when you really, if people really understood what
Yeah.
it went into making a cup of coffee,
And if people
it's-
actually retailed it properly, you wouldn't be able to get a cup of coffee. I mean, really, when you think about where it comes from, its origins, and the process of the
Exactly.
roasting, and
it's
that's
an incredible product
Yeah,
to
yeah.
not cost triple. I mean, go get a glass of wine. Look what that costs you if
absolutely.
you have a good,
And
and that's a process as well.
Our baristas make your coffee. It's boutique. I mean, we don't push buttons
I mean,
to give
yeah.
you a frap.
Do I
or-
still have the heart shape on the
Oh,
cup
you
of
do.
coffee
Oh,
there?
you
Is
do
it
a little
still,
bit,
is it
yeah.
moved?
No, not at all.
Oh, wow. Well,
Same
it's kind of
thing.
changed into a leaf now. It's moved, but it's been sitting there
You
like
know,
an
as
hour and a
time
half, so
progresses,
it's pretty
we all
good.
develop different shapes. It's just taking its course. But
Yes,
even
sadly.
with our teas, our teas are also only St. Louis based, which is great. But every tea that's ordered, it's made specifically for you. So an iced tea isn't just something we're pouring out of a pre-made
Yeah.
container. It's
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I know. The
Doesn't
idea of
work.
that is awful. It actually takes time. So our people are patient, and that's great. And we love our clientele. But when someone gets huffy and they're in a hurry, you're in the wrong place.
So my question of the day was, if you go to your favorite coffee house, your place, like Pour322 Coffee House, what is your favorite pour? What is your favorite creation? And I haven't had a chance to kind of go in and see them. So do you have one that seems to be a specialty here that you love or that tends to get ordered a lot?
Well, each barista has
Each barista
created
does
their
have their own
latte.
their own little menu item, which
And-
we love because a lot of people they come certain days because they know a barista's going to be here, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
Oh,
that's
really?
not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
They've got their favorite.
They do,
Yeah.
they do. There might be a little
But they'll
extra
say-
foam or a little extra
They
flavor.
may say, I'm going to have a Kate or I'm going to have a Maya. And I'm like, yeah, what does it say that is? Because, I mean, I know them by what kind of latte, like cookie latte or whatever, but
Yeah.
I don't know them by
Which
kid, and
honestly
we
is
don't-
probably one of our most favored lattes is the cookie latte.
Yeah.
So it's actually
People love it.
yeah, it's a cookie butter base, and then
Oh,
it's
my.
literally just whipped into the milk, and then it's shaken and steamed again, and it's a whole process. But it's pretty lush. I mean, and people rave about it. I honest to God couldn't tell you. I've never had it.
either.
The smell of that though, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Something
can
about
you
the
smell
of
it and
coffee.
not have one?
There you are.
Does
so I
it?
have
I
to.
don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't.
Oh, it
Sweets,
smells
Sweets are
delicious,
not my
though,
thing.
but-
They never have been. So
Man, I could like lick the glass, but I don't. But I don't. I just like to smell it. But I
Just
mean,
the
I'm
frothing
just like
picture
a,
after
I'm
the
just like a
fact.
plain cortado. I just like some espresso.
That's
and
what
a little
you made
almond.
me.
Yes, absolutely.
But
And
I
it
will
just-
say, to that point, you're not wrong. When it's a good espresso, you don't need the other nonsense. And I think that really does
probably
play to a good bean, to a very good roast. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I have to have it sweet. I can't stomach it without it." And it's like, I can't imagine what. Well, one of our employees calls it gut rot. When she can't have coffee from here, she'll say, "I had gut rot this morning, so make it snappy."
There is such a difference. I bet you're horrible. So Gordon, being an I shouldn't say ex, but retired band guy or whatever, we cannot go listen to a band or any music play without him critiquing it. And I'm like, just let me hear the song. I don't hear the bad stuff till he starts talking about it. But the same with you. I'm sure going into a restaurant restaurant or a place or a coffee house and having a cup of coffee, you are probably critiquing the
I
heck
was
out of
gone
it.
4 days last month, and it was the worst 4 days of my life. I couldn't. I came back Thursday night, and I was talking to him, and I said I just want to come have coffee. I
It's
just
like
want a
having
cup
an
of coffee.
Oreo cookie or a Hydrox. Total difference. My mom tried to pass it off as I was a kid and buy the cheaper cookies, the Hydrox. I'm like, those are not Oreos. That's like the Eddie Murphy comedy show where he wants a McDonald's hamburger and his mom says, I can make you one. It's got peppers and grease and everything hanging off of it. It's not the same.
Tear the crust off the outside. There you go.
It's not going to work whatsoever. So with that, you have just, I should say, perfected
I think
your
for
coffee bean.
I think for us and for our client base, yeah, I mean, we are not the only coffee shop in town.
No.
And that's
Sure.
certainly not a mystery. But each one of us has our own thing.
Yeah.
And we're not shy about supporting each other. And
Which is
if
great.
any one of us is in a rut, there's no question we're there. A lot of us sit on a board together, or they sit on a commission together, and so if any of them needed anything, I mean, we really would help each other out. But not serving the same thing is the best possible case scenario. So if a coffee shop's closed on a holiday and we're open, they'll come and experience what we have, and we might change them and we might not, and that's okay. But I think experiencing each place and seeing what you like and what you don't like is important. But yeah, for lack of better phrasing, ours is perfect.
I absolutely love, it is perfect, by the way.
And the descriptions of everything that makes you want to come. The way you describe your place and the way all the things that you offer. I mean, you describe it so well.
Oh, thanks.
Enticingly, it just makes you want to come and have something.
Yeah, I love that you're interacting with us. Gordon has
Well,
he has a new toy. So see R2D2 up there. You all can't see it. So that is his new
yeah,
baby,
as
and
we're
he
playing
is
around,
just
I can
having a
have
great
fun with my
time
remote
whipping that
control.
thing. And
There's
oh
go.
god, it's way too close. Do I have a pimple?
well, it's not just playing with it, but it's getting used to it. I don't know if we can go back and see. Let's just go see.
Zoom in. Do they? Hair in their nose?
No.
No, we
Don't
can
be
get
a foul.
pretty
Don't be a
close.
foul.
So we're driving down the road. We'd been out all day. We had meetings or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and tell it because you guys are guys. It happens to girls too, but I think it might happen to guys more. And when he's sitting sideways to me, I'm like, what the heck is coming out of your nose? He goes, what? Thinking like it was something else. I'm like, you've got like a 1-inch hair that's sprouted from your nose. He's going, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
like,
but you know what?
Has it been
I'm
there
going
all
to tell you something.
day?
In his defense,
In his
you could be
defense.
up at 5 a.m. looking just perfect.
Just totally.
And
And
by
at
noon, you're
10:30,
like, where
It
the
just
hell did
appears.
that come
That
from?
happens
Or
to my
it's all
chin,
curled
so
up
I
in there,
understand.
and you don't know it's there, and you're
That's
just
just
happen to
life.
blow air out of your nose, and it
All
goes.
right. So as a woman, I will say they will pop out of your chin nowhere like that.
See? There you
You get up in the morning, you're fresh. By noon, there's this 1-inch curl that came out of the chin. And the other day he said, "There's something on your chin." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you told me it was there yesterday, and you're just now talking about it today that it's there." So that's when you just shave your face.
My original business partner was a woman, and she was a little older than I was, and she would say, there is nothing worse than getting up in the morning and looking at yourself,
And
and,
have-
at 10:30 go, what is this? And it's about 3 inches long. and she
The
said,
wonderful beauty that happens with age, and it doesn't grow where it's supposed to.
No.
It grows where it's not supposed to. So,
absolutely.
but I don't even remember what we're talking about. Is your coffee house
Oh,
maybe?
yeah, so yeah, coffee.
And no, sorry.
Coffee,
But yeah.
sorry.
No, what
Where
I
are
was
we?
My bad.
what I was gonna say is that I love the passion that you all have, not just for your business, but the reason why that we're here today and talking about your business you started, your next business that you started, but your brand new one that's down the street, but it's your love for Belleville. You don't just love your business, and you said that in one of your statements when you said, we all help each other. You're really involved with your city, and you're part of it. And you not only want to grow your businesses, you want to make sure that everyone else around you is growing, and that is so completely important.
We absolutely work together. I think that's something to really be proud of as a community and as businesses in a community, that we do work together and we do help each other. And if one of us is involved, we yell at the other one, hey, do you want to be involved in this, or do you want to help sponsor this, or can we co-sponsor that? And it's Main Street and the Chamber and City Hall, so to speak, really.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
I mean,
Community, like in the olden
absolutely.
day where
Yes,
people
yes,
really
yes.
used to talk to one another, and they came together as a whole to really help each other unite and grow, so that the people come together with the businesses. That's what we do with our magazines, which we have our new style issue right out front there that actually usually comes about a week early, but for the September, it's about bringing community together, bringing businesses with the people and people with the businesses and the businesses together and so forth. I mean, because we always talk about back in that day when you came
Yeah.
together by the newspaper that was dropped off at your door and your town hall meetings and your school events, and we've lost a lot of that touch. So your businesses that you have really bring the people together.
And the great thing about it is, it's just like having met your assistant Casey today,
Yeah.
not knowing that who her mom was, which was my
Yeah.
customer, and then knowing that Gordon's from Belleville.
Grew up.
I mean, so all those things together, and you think about all the people's lives you touch when in the things that we do, like with weddings, and someone will say, well, you know what, Amber down the street's doing my cake,
Yeah.
and, or
Did you
or
say
we're going
cake?
to cake. Yeah, I did.
Can you call
Yeah.
Amber?
She does a beautiful job.
We're having our rehearsal dinner at Benny's. It's pizza. We're getting popcorn for the wedding reception, from the Lincoln. So it's just this big family of things, and we all kind of do the same thing, just in different categories.
Right.
And I think that that's so cool that we can all do that together. We had a meeting here Monday night with a bunch of folks, and for a council that Zack sits on, and some of the people were leaving, and we were talking, and guys like, listen, we need to do more weddings together, and they do popcorn, great popcorn, fun stuff at the Lincoln Theater,
Yeah.
just stuff like that. So it's just, we're working on another project for a Taste of Belleville with PSOP, which is a group that works through SWIC. And so it's just a lot of neat things, I think.
I
Like
love
constant
that.
community, constant.
Well, we want to, before we bring Wendy, which I'm assuming that's probably Wendy over there,
It
that's
is.
perfect, the president and CEO of the Greater Belleville Chamber of Commerce, I want to make sure that we mention the Bungalow and talk about this new event venue that is just 2 doors down. We took a fun little picture in front of it, which I can't wait to see the inside. I hope maybe we can see it before we leave. I mean, we can look at pictures that we have, but actually being able to see the inside would be amazing. We want to talk about the Bungalow. We're going to bring Wendy over, introduce her, but we'd like the three to come around because we want to play a little game together and have some fun, and then let Wendy really kind of tell us passionately things that are going on in Belleville and the fountain and some fun things. So how did the Bungalow happen? And it looks like the perfect bungalow. Are you, Gordon's showing it right now. Tell us about that dream that came true.
I mean, Dad has told me for, decades at this point, that's something, sadly,
sad,
that's
yeah.
so sad,
Okay.
that he'd always wanted it. And it's really legitimately, and Wendy can confirm or deny this in a minute when I sounded really ignorant, but it's legitimately the only house that sits on Main Street, and it sits back a little
Really?
bit.
It is a bungalow,
Yeah,
too.
it's darling. It's a sweet little property. The nice thing is, or the neat thing I should say, is that right next to it is what is currently the spice shop, which we frequent every week for our spices here at the
Sure.
coffee shop. But every business that was ever in that spice shop, the family lived in that house. So yeah,
So did
Belleville's big on its
so
history.
was someone living in that house before you got
No.
the house?
No.
I was like, oh
I
my
would've-
gosh, it was
I would've-
originally they were.
last resident right
So
there
I
on the
actually
street.
think the
Was somebody living in that house in 1977 and 78?
There was.
Do you know them?
I don't. So
He goes,
so-
Is this
It
something you
was
shouldn't talk
rhetorical,
about,
No,
Gordon?
because that's my story I was going to tell you. So back in high school, we were like
Great. Is
hanging
this
in Belleville.
before or after you took the bell off the Taco Bell?
Yeah, shh.
Yeah. Teenagers.
What are you
So
gonna
we
do?
were being chased by somebody, and somehow we got up through the back, over the top of the roof, and jumped over the top of the roof and came up the front of the house from
Sure
high
your
school.
mom's listening right
so
now.
when
Does
I
she
saw
know
that,
this?
when I saw that today, I was like, oh boy, I got some history on that roof.
Bonnie just said to his sister Debbie, what did he just say he did?
Yeah.
Everyone needs a son. That's why I had 2 daughters.
2 sons, 3 daughters.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a moving house.
It was, girl.
So your dream has come true after years.
yeah.
Finally, they moved out and it became available.
Yeah, it was a vintage tea room before.
Okay.
And so the layout was there, and literally the layout itself hasn't changed. There are still 2 existing bedrooms upstairs. There's a giant bathroom with a clawfoot tub.
Does that become a what do you call it, bed and breakfast then to stay there? Or you just left the rooms?
So everything about that building is very petite.
Okay.
And that's it's
for
literally
small people.
Well, yeah.
And the stairs are old, and they're funhouse stairs.
Yeah, Dad
To
calls,
those
them,
kids.
Dad calls them Seussical stairs.
Yes.
Because they definitely have a slant to them. But that's kind of the great thing is that building is absolutely adorable. The interior is great. We added some vintage wallpaper that was really fantastic, and deeper, darker colors really brought actual wood floors back to the building like it should have been. And honestly, I say this, and I sort of say it jokingly, but not. Like, if I hadn't turned it into this, I was going to make it a house again because I would kill to have it as a house. And so like now,
Like as an Airbnb or to
no,
actually
no,
live there?
for me to live there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because
That'd be close to work.
Well, I'm close to work now. I'm actually only
Too close?
technically a little bit of a block that
That's
way.
why you don't answer your
But,
phone.
That's exactly right. But yeah, I wouldn't get out of it over there. He actually has a key to that
Just,
building.
yeah, walk in.
But yeah, he would just walk in. But yeah, so like now even with the porch, we wanted to add a little more square footage, so we were able to. It's about restoring and rebuilding. So
Yeah.
we were actually able to contact an old friend, and he had all these incredible French doors from an old house in Ladue. In Ladue from the 20s. Yep. And so all the original hardware, everything. So now we've actually taken that front porch and made it really a Four Seasons room because it's closed in completely with French doors. It actually matches all the original work on the house, so it doesn't feel out of
Amazing.
place, and we wanted to keep its historical value. And we actually found some interesting stories about that house. A friend of ours had actually said that her daughter did a tour, walking tour, and she's a young lady, and I think 12, and they had told her that the house was extremely haunted, and she's like,
I
oh my
was
God, we
gonna
want to get
ask
in there, we
that.
want to get in there at Halloween, and I'm like, I've been in there all hours of the night, there's nothing scary about that place. It's haunted by my own shame, and I think that might, at first that was the problem, but now I there's no haunting at all. I mean, it's a great building. I don't feel eerie in there at all. I mean, if people want to feel that, great, but apparently, I guess in the 30s, I want to say,
I think it
there
was
was a
the 30s.
gentleman who lived there and was selling the property, and when he went to actually sign the papers, he signed it and everything was great, and the day he was supposed to leave, he said, I'm not leaving. And so then finally they got the sheriff involved, and so he ended up shooting one of the officers in the courtyard and killing one of them and injuring the other, and he was taken to jail, and
So
he
they-
died before he went on trial. And so they don't. The history is a little washed there, but it might have been two
They just keep
murders in
making
the
it
courtyard.
better as
Yeah.
It's like 20 people, and there was
Yeah,
a massive. One was beheaded.
One was behind. It was so strange. Guillotine involved. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta really
but,
play it up. Just change it as you go. It'll get better.
Like all history, right?
Right,
Till
exactly.
it fits somebody's prerogative.
Exactly.
But yeah, so it's a phenomenal space. We love it. We host a lot of luncheons there. We've had some really great parties.
Yeah, so tell me what you do with the bungalow. We know we don't spend the night there.
We
It's
don't.
not
We
haunted.
don't. It's not
the
haunted.
beautiful picture. So tell me what the space is being used for. Private
So,
events.
Private events for sure. We've had a lot of community organizations that have taken advantage of the situation of being down here, which is great. If they want us to cater through the coffee shop, we're happy to do so. If that's not something they're interested in, we understand, and that's okay. But we do encourage them to utilize one of the incredible restaurants down here. I mean, Dad always talks about the Taste of Belleville, and that's really an opportunity when you consider how many different restaurants are down here.
Oh my gosh,
You're talking about incredible pizza
Wonderful.
from Benny's and beautiful pastas from Tavern on Main, or
Been to a few of them.
like a whole
Papa
buffet of
Vito's,
burgers,
Copper
Papa Vito's,
Fire.
Copper Fire. There's so many options, and even sushi. I mean, and we actually have a client who wants to do an event there where she's literally going to be doing a collection of everything from the different restaurants because some of her guests have never been to Belleville.
And I know it's not on this street, but we can't not mention, is it the White Cottage?
White Cottage.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah.
That
That's-
burger just
yeah.
like makes you just want to cry. It's
Yes,
so good.
it's so good.
And then you can top it with some ice cream.
Yeah,
Oh, we did.
Absolutely.
Oh, we did.
Absolutely.
And fries.
Yeah, that's a
And we
Belleville
waited in a
staple, I think.
long
Yes, it
line
is.
that
Yeah.
went pretty quick,
Yeah.
but we were not leaving.
No, you don't
and
leave that
It's just
line.
a little white old like diner,
Yeah, it's
and
fantastic.
it was
It's amazing,
packed.
isn't it?
That's another really great part of Belleville
Yeah,
history.
that's
so.
what I'd want to cater. I just want the burger. Bring on the burgers and the cake.
Yep, exactly.
Though I like a good
Exactly.
pizza too, so we're good there. So now the price, do you envision any more with that, or it's just going to stay as a quaint place to be able to
It's-
rent for special functions?
Currently quaint. And
How many people?
Currently, so interior 40,
Okay.
comfortably, and
Great.
exterior
Wedding shower, or baby
absolutely.
shower?
We've had
And so
several.
exterior courtyard then seats an additional 16 to 20.
Oh,
And then
gosh.
we have the porch, which would be a permanent bar area, and then just sort of mingling, if you will. We legitimately have some really incredible plans for the back end because
Mm-hmm.
90% of the gravel parking lot is ours, and so we have some exciting stuff that we're looking to do, but until I get an absolute on that, I'm not going to talk about it because,
It's just top secret.
well, it'll make me sad if I replay this video and it doesn't go through. You know what I mean? It's like, I already have an idea that it's happening, so I want to make
You've
sure it's
got to
actually
do the
legit.
affirmations,
visualize. That's
and
exactly
you've got to
right.
visualize it right at the 3-6-9 method. The 3 in the morning, 6 in the afternoon, and 9 at night. It will come true.
Listen,
Not just once. You got to do it for several
It might be
days.
rough for me
happy
at
to.
3 a.m., but I'll try.
Try
I'm
it.
happy to. Yeah,
6 to 9 I can do.
the nice thing is we love the idea, like when a customer comes in or when a group of people come in and they're like, this is amazing. Have you thought of, this, or have you thought of that? And it's like, I really hadn't, or yes, we have, and it can't work, but the suggestions are incredible.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people have been, that's, I think another thing is that people have always wondered what that actually is and what could they ever come into it. And we actually had a client contact us and say, my aunts used to live there. I really want to come in and see it.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
I want to see what it looks like now as opposed to what it looked like then. And so
Yeah.
We have a great little group coming in next month, and the lady moved to town like 50 years ago, and she went to a book club meeting, and the book club meeting was at that house, and so they're coming in for a book club meeting.
I was going to say,
next
that'd be a
month.
great
This little
space
group,
to
isn't
use
that
it as
fun?
well.
Yeah.
Well, we
So-
want Christine Orr, she is with Discover Downstate Illinois, to bring over Wendy. And then is it Feel?
Wendy File.
See, it wasn't even, we were going and Peel and everybody says with the P as I spit all over the mic, but no one else is going to use it. So File, I could have just made it really simple, couldn't I? But we were, come over, Wendy, get over here. Bring a chair over, scoot on over next to me here, Zach, and let's talk Belleville. I had to change chairs to one of the wooden school chairs. That one I couldn't see over my laptop here. So we were, now that we have your name correct, and we're so glad to have you over here, I'm going to scoot closer to Gordon, bring my mic down here so we can get scrunching our
fitting
top.
everybody in.
Yes, we've got it all. So we're so glad to have you, so glad to be invited, and Christine made sure that it all went through. And we want to find out a little bit, as we told everybody, Wendy File, she's the president and CEO of Greater Belleville Chamber of Commerce. What's your life like being part of the Chamber of Commerce? Are you forever going and everybody needs you?
No, not at all. No one calls.
So I need your job.
No, I'm kidding. I'm very busy, so it changes day to day, and it depends on what's going on what we're working on. We really work to keep our businesses informed on what's going on, our needs in the community at this time, or getting information to them that might be important to them, or taking information from them to our city or elected officials, or meeting with new businesses that are in town to let them know what good things are going on here in the community. And so no, it's never not busy, and
That was noisy. Sorry about that.
and I never
There we
have
go.
nothing. I don't ever sit still in my office, so no.
I can only imagine. So tell us a little bit. I know the fountain. I said, Gordon, they have a new fountain. He goes, no, they didn't get a new fountain. It reopened, I guess, right?
It
I
reopened.
might
Thank
do that.
goodness last Friday at noon. Construction was finished. Illinois American Water had a water project to replace aging infrastructure. The water lines beneath the fountain were like 75 years old, and they just need to be replaced. And so that way they could avoid like water line breakages and them being shut down for a really long time. The project started June 1st, and they had a goal of having it all done by September 1st. So by the time we got to festival season, everything was open. They finished 2 weeks ahead of schedule, and let me tell you, everybody is relieved that it is open.
Us too, but it wasn't on when we came around the corner, by the way, Wendy.
Oh, well, I will have to have a conversation with the city about
We
that.
talked about the fountain all the way here, and we go, and it's not on.
Oh, Lord.
Did they do that on purpose because we were coming?
Oh, well, then I'll have to have a discussion with that one. I'm not
Yes.
in charge of the fountain, by the way. I'll
You
relay
are
the
now.
message back.
You brought it up.
But yeah,
Did I
so
break your
our
eardrum there, Gordon?
businesses were really affected by the closures down there on the first block at East Main, and they really had to work hard to make sure that they stayed relevant to customers, because construction's intimidating, right? You can't drive there. Some people don't want to walk there, or afraid they can't walk there. But sidewalks were open to them all the time, and they persevered, and that's what I think is good about the business on Main Street is that they're willing to persevere through stuff like that. So.
So tell us a little bit about things that are happening and going on. I'm not looking, should be looking at my notes of what you really wanted. I did, yeah, events. What do you have coming up?
Well, see
In
this
the
card
holiday
here. I had to
season.
bring all this with me because there's so many going on. I don't want to miss any because then I will be in trouble, right?
And
So
we love, I just can't even believe we're talking about the holiday season right now, that it is just around the corner, but there is nothing cuter than coming here. You just feel like you've gone back in time when you come here for the holiday season. We've been here for a few things in your art fair, and
Yes.
you do a lot.
I would say that it's
You
just not the
personally,
holiday
you do
season
it
at
all.
Christmas time, but I think it's holiday season all year long, right? So, because there's always something going on. It's kind of a joke that Belleville has a parade like every month or sometimes. But I mean, and that's starting.
Parades are fun.
Yeah, and that's starting early on. So, there actually is a parade coming up on this coming Monday for Labor Day. It's Labor Day parade's coming on, and so
Do you allow people to throw candy or anything?
so they do allow people to throw candy.
See, I love you because back home we've got the parade Nazis. No throwing candy. I'm like, what are they gonna do? Come get me and throw me out of the parade?
So you know, I think that they encourage them to throw it at the ground at the feet, but I do know that there are
Throw
some
it
people
at
that
'em.
walk
Make
through-
sure it
they
gets in their
do.
hand.
They do, and you know, it's
Get in
kind
my
of funny you
mouth.
say that because my son has been in a couple of the parades one time, and he'll be like, he sees me, and he'll be like, "Mom, whack," and I'm like, "Hey, slow down." But you know,
He's the one who
Wait till we
ruins
go.
it for the rest of them.
right,
And then they
but-
shut down the candy throwing
They
because
do,
your
they do.
son.
But no, they have plenty of candy that's thrown out, and the kids,
Good.
collect all the candy on the ground, and
Yeah,
it's
we
just
eat
a
right
good
off the
time.
ground. It doesn't matter.
Right?
That's where you
A
get
little
those.
dirt's good for everybody.
Those, yeah, build up that bacteria
Jelly
intolerance.
ranchers, That's right.
Tootsie Rolls. You cannot go downtown without not finding a Tootsie Roll after the parades. But but then right after the Labor Day parade, the city's got to get ready for Oktoberfest, which is September 15th and 16th, and that's put on by the Exchange Club and Sister Cities and the Shriners and a couple other organizations, and that really celebrates Belleville's German heritage. And so they have some authentic German music and authentic food, and they have entertainment down there, and it's just a really good time. And then 2 weeks later, we're back for Pride Fest, and so again, celebrating the diversity of our community. And that same day is also the Belleville Marathon, so you can go run and then go down there and eat and drink. And then 2 weeks, I guess a
all
week
pays
later,
off.
Hopefully run first.
right? And then a week later, we're coming back for chili cook-off, which is what we're in charge of.
My
And,
gosh.
And so we have 47 food vendors down here.
I'm
and
gaining weight
entertainment.
just
Yeah.
with all your events right now.
So yeah, we have
to
47 food
prep.
vendors and food trucks, and probably I would say 90% of them serve some type of chili, so you can taste all the chili you want. And then we have live entertainment. And this Saturday of chili cook-off, we have a 5K run that goes on. So we always say you can, run your way through a chili, and then you don't have to worry about what to eat later on. And so it's just a lot of good events. And then then you roll right into holiday season, and you have the Thanksgiving Day parade the day after Thanksgiving, and Santa comes to town, and he's on the square to take pictures, and you have the Chris Kendall Market, and you have all East Main Street with all the decorations in the windows and the gingerbread houses, and you can walk them down and see all those creations that people made. And downtown has a cookie stroll walk, and oh my gosh, it goes on and on and on.
And
a
if you
couple-
want that nostalgic old community, old town feel living, you don't have to live here to be able to enjoy all of these things. This is a destination to be able to attend. So someone that's not living here, where do they go to remember all of these events and parades and things you're talking about? Where can they go to see all of this?
So we have it on a lot of it. We have on our website, which is BellevilleChamber.org, or you can find it on the city's website at Belleville.net. And because they have a tourism site, and there's a calendar out there. A lot of the stores down here have tourism or event calendars that you can pick up if you're in town, and has all the dates listed on there. Social media is great to follow. Belleville Main Street has their own Facebook page, which Courtney does a great job of making sure all the events that are going on downtown are shared. The tourism, Downstate Illinois has great information on it. And so we really try to share out everybody's information. So I heard these guys say earlier, it's not about, just ourselves, but it's about the entire community, because if we all work together, that's what's going to grow the community, not just one person.
Exactly. How's your cute little mayor?
She's amazing.
She's just a bundle of fun.
Yeah,
What I call her fun size. She's the first woman mayor, which I
Absolutely.
love talking about that.
Yeah.
She visited with us last time we were
There's a
in.
picture right there.
There, isn't she cute? And she was just she had so much information and so much energy, and she just
does.
loves everything that she's doing. And I love the fact that she's the first woman mayor after how long?
200 years?
Yeah.
200 plus years.
Yeah.
Wow. And she's going to be here for the next. So
Some great things, I think, for the community, and works well with, plays fair on the playground with others, I should
Plays
say. Maybe.
fair.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's
some
kinda
of us
great.
don't.
And she's willing to get out in the community too. Like, she stops in and sees a lot of people,
Yes.
and she's visible. She's not one of those mayors that hides in their office and you don't have access to. So,
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that our community has is you have access to a lot of our decision makers and people of influence in town.
So now it's going to get a little bit tricky, tough. Christine, you're going to play along with us. Christine she's with Discover Downstate. I want to say downtown, Illinois. And we're going to play a little game. I do not know the game, though
You can't look.
Gordon could
Well,
probably.
you can. You can look. There's no
Gordon would
answers
probably tell me the answers, and I still wouldn't get the game. So I took my car to get fixed, and they called me yesterday around noon to pick it up and said it was ready. I said, no problem. I'll be there in a little bit to get a ride. And last night, probably about 9 o'clock, we're in the garage. Huge empty space, huge. There's nothing there because, of course, my car's not there. We're playing with our dog that
Olive the Bulldog.
Olive the Bulldog. And all of a sudden, we both look at this big activity space that we've got going on.
I go, Kel, where's your
your
car?
I go,
Oh my gosh.
I forgot it.
Got to pick it up.
But first of all, don't you think my first clue when I walked into the garage and there was a big empty space that possibly I might have remembered that my car wasn't home?
We're
So
gonna play with the dog.
yeah, you never want me on your team. I'm just saying when it comes to playing a game. That just shows you where my intelligence level lies. So, are you ready? Tell us a little about
I
what
am
we're
ready.
playing.
So today we're going to play coffee trivia, and so I'm going to give you multiple choice on these, and you got to pick which one it is. Are you guys ready to play coffee trivia?
Absolutely.
Sure. No way.
All right.
What I did here. I totally
So here we go.
destroyed it. Okay.
This is another thing. I had everything dialed in and all the levels, and
We've got
she
a
just
large
starts
party
taking
going
things
on.
apart.
We got a big.
Actually, if everything would have been there, everybody could. I would have been able to turn it up and make it here.
Do not scold me while we're
I
on the
am.
show.
Golden child.
Spank me either. That would really be weird.
Kelly is a production guy's worst nightmare. It's like, let's just start rearranging everything.
Well, I told Casey, she's our creative director there, Casey Pierce. I said, I normally just stay out of the way when he's setting up because I just get in the way. If not, and then he gets all crabby. So I just find my own corner. So I'm
Your
gonna talk
production
to-
guy right now is going, oh, that poor guy. He's dismantling microphones, moving stuff around.
All right, we're ready. What
All
are
right.
we doing?
Are we ready? Here we go. The name of cappuccino comes from the drink's resemblance to brown cows worn by Capuchin monks, the similarity and color of fur of Capuchin monkeys, which I don't know what that is. The Italian.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so hang on. Stop a
Hold
second.
on.
It was a little fast. Those are the answers we're supposed to pick from?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't say that. You just started reading stuff, and I'm
Once
like,
again.
where are we?
There we go.
Did you
again.
guys get that?
Are you ready, empty
See?
space garage girl?
Okay, so
Here we go.
The question is,
The name cappuccino comes from
these are
one,
the answers.
the drink resemblance to the brown cows worn by the Capuchin monks. I'm not saying that right. Number 2, the similarity and color of the fur of the Capuchin monkeys. Number 3, the Italian puccino, meaning light brown one. Or number 4, the size of the cup in which it's commonly served. The name cappuccino comes from.
Number 3.
I'm going with 3. What do you say?
No, I just want to see which one of you was wrong. Go ahead.
I said
The
3.
answer
Mike.
is that
I
the
would
drink
have-
resemblance
I
to the
have no
brown
idea.
cows worn by
That's the
Capuchin monks.
answer?
That's the answer.
That was number
It is.
one. Was that
Yeah.
number 1 or 2?
I for sure thought that or the monkey was for
I
fake.
figured them
All right, here we go. This will get a little easier. Number 1 was the toughest one. Espresso literally means speed it up, to go, forced out, black and intense.
I would say speed it up.
Speed it up sounds
Come on, we got to go faster.
Sorry, I was distracted.
Come on, coffee
I
guys.
don't know what you
Could be
said.
good too.
Speed it up, to
Okay.
go, forced out, or black and intense. Espresso means.
I think everybody kind of clicked.
Oh, I think I know this one. Isn't it forced out?
I think if you have too much espresso, something might get forced out. I think that's a whole other
And there's your answer. It's forced out.
See, I remember a little bit from my days of having a coffee house.
All right, coffee
Hey, you
was
guys need to get with it.
coffee was the first food to be shipped from Europe to the New World, freeze dried, used in Aztec religious ceremonies, or roasted and ground for drinking.
Aztec.
Yeah.
You're saying the third one. I'll say
Freeze
shift.
dried.
Freeze dried.
Man, we are not very good at
I
this.
feel like
No,
we're really
I am so glad that there's not like a car that we're supposed to win.
Come on, coffee guys.
It's not our coffee tastes good.
I don't know.
All right,
I mean,
here we
Didn't know
go.
anything about it.
Number 4, 40% of the world's coffee is produced by Africa, Brazil, Colombia, or Southeast Asia.
my initial thought was Colombia, but it's probably some trick.
I'm gonna say Brazil.
I think Brazil.
Look, he's whispering his answers in case he's wrong. We don't even know what he said.
I'll obviously be wrong. I'll be in the garage.
You know, stick with me, guys. Someone knows their coffee house. All right, and there is, by the way, I'm looking. There is no answer here.
No, she's reading all four answers.
Even if the answers were there, I still wouldn't get it.
All right, here we go. Kopi Luwak, the world's most expensive coffee, up to $600 per pound, is what? Processed during a full moon, brewed only with solid gold pots, made from coffee beans eaten and excreted by a Sumerian wildcat, or grown at higher altitude than any other bean.
As disgusting as the wildcat was, that's the answer, isn't it?
Wow. That's kind of gross.
Yummy.
You're right.
Can I have a cupcake with
Pardon
that?
me? No, thank goodness. Have you?
Yes.
had
we
it?
actually had a client bring it into us. They really wanted us to try it, and one of our baristas was like, I can't. I just can't. I mean, he's sitting there like dry heaving as he's like trying to drink it. I mean, I drank it. It wasn't anything.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was
I
good,
didn't think
but
it was anything
it
much.
wasn't
Nothing-
anything.
nothing to
You
write home
envision a
about?
mama bird dropping their food into your mouth. They're just chewing it up.
Yeah, I think once
If you put it that way.
Just the word excrete.
Yeah. Oh God. No.
Yeah.
That's
Like moist. Those two words are.
Wow,
worst-
struck a nerve.
Those are the worst.
Struck a nerve.
The worst words.
Oh my god.
No one wants a moist or an excrete coffee.
Well, let's get away from moist and find out where coffee beans grow on. All right, number 6, coffee beans grow on a low-spreading vine, a bush, a tree, or the roots of a coffee plant.
Tree.
I say bush.
push.
Oh boy.
Let's give it to our coffee guys right
I was about to give my
One
answer.
right. Gee.
there. What are you gonna say, Bo?
Starting to get. Oh, we had a couple right.
All right,
What is he going to win?
a whole year's supply of coffee. Most coffees are a blend of light and dark roast, caffeine and essential oils. I already say these things wrong. Arabica and robust beans are African and South American beans.
I say 3, the Arabica or whatever, and Robusta beans.
I would say.
See,
I would agree.
See.
Yes.
There's your answer.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more. How old?
Apparently, the dumb one at the table is the smartest right now. That's me.
This one surprised me. How old is instant coffee?
Ooh.
Is it 100 years old, 150, 200, or 250?
Oh, I'd say boy.
I'm going to say 250.
I think it's old. Oh, you think it's old? I don't think it's that old.
I don't think it's as old as. I think it's younger at the youngest. I think the
Okay,
100.
You think it's 100? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I know.
You know what?
I'm trying
I'm-
to think back. I'm 60. I remember Sanka.
I just remember.
Yeah, that
I
was my
just-
mom's
Yes,
favorite,
Sanka,
instant
absolutely.
coffee.
I remember reading a story, and it was sticking in my head that it surprised me that it was so old. So that's why
amazing. No,
that I
amazing.
got that right. But I think possibly I need to. Would that be by a lottery? I'm really smart today, so I think we should do something like extraordinary when we
I
leave.
just want you to find your car first, and then we'll talk about it. All right. Last 2. The country that drinks the most coffee is Finland, Sweden, Iceland, or Norway. Finland,
cold, right?
Sweden, Iceland, or Norway.
The most coffee. Boy.
I want to say Sweden.
Sweden.
Finland?
Finland. Finland.
Sweden.
I really don't know, so I'll say Norway. Just to be opposite of you guys. Oh, you're right.
Finland.
See, I want to make you feel better about yourself.
All right, this one's going to mess with everybody because it messed with me. What was the most popular breakfast drink before coffee became widely available? Tea, beer, water, or hot chocolate?
Ooh, might be beer.
yeah.
Beer is an old
Yeah,
one from
I'd say
monks,
beer.
so
Yeah, who doesn't want a beer?
We're talking breakfast drink.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Stout.
Which means we're wrong with beer.
I mean, tea seems too simple.
Yeah, it does.
It does seem obvious.
Beer.
See,
I like
Belleville,
beer.
you know,
Makes
stag
me
capital of the
jolly
world.
good.
That's right. Nothing like starting your morning with a stag.
So there you go. There you go.
All right. All right.
You guys did pretty
Great
good.
Main
job.
Street questions and ask them Belleville Main Street questions.
Oh, all right. Try us.
Well, no, I don't have any prepared right now.
Just make one up. This is your
How
moment.
old is the Belleville Chamber of Commerce. And what year was it founded?
I'm going to go
The wheels are turning.
100 and something.
You're actually close. We're 99 years old. We'll be 100 on October 4th, 2024. So we'll
Big
be celebrating 100 years next year.
celebration.
Yes.
I
Wow.
love
Should actually
that.
invite them out to come to that.
Absolutely.
That would be absolutely cool.
We'd
May
love
7th,
that.
we are going to have a huge dinner down Main Street.
We need to do a
celebrate 100 years.
destination and
Is it gonna be
and
one
have
long
pictures.
table?
Yes.
Yes.
So Jeff has
that
my
guy Kelly.
vision in
No.
mind, and so in my vision, we are having one long table down Main Street with everybody to sit at one long table.
Gordon,
I would love
was
to have
that
like
not-
500 plus people down here.
I can't believe you're doing my dream. So last year, I said an event that I want to do would be to have the largest dinner party at a table that runs down the street of Main Street, is what I had said, and have this huge dinner. Everybody buys a ticket to sit at the table, and it's the largest table, and there's wine and beverages and food. You're doing it.
Yes.
What do you do? Because our weather. You can be snowing in the morning, raining by noon, and beautiful by night.
Well, I'm going to pray for what we call chamber weather, and we do have a backup plan. But I came to our board of directors and kind of told them this plan, and Jeff was one of the first ones to jump on board. He's like, "Yes, we're doing this!" And so I have we have a vision board, and I have pictures in my head that we're going to pull out and get it ready to go. And so that is our goal: is to have one long table down Main Street
I'm
that
not
everybody can
missing
sit
out.
at.
That was a dream event of mine.
Yeah.
It just sounds so great, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, what a
Cool.
fabulous
Yeah.
idea. And I really wanted to take it city to city. So you would plan these dinner events on a quaint, Main Street type street and put the largest dinner party on. Of no
Hey, can you
less than
pass the
200.
butter from 7th Street?
We haven't worked out all the logistics yet, but we're
We got cream at Church and High.
So we'll get there, and we're hoping to get a lot of the Main Street merchants involved in it down here for the planning, foods and stuff like that, and we have a lot of great support behind us. So that's our. You're more than welcome to attend.
I
would love
definitely.
to.
That would be absolutely amazing. So, is there anything that you want to share with us? We've got Zack Bair, the owner of Grimm Gorly, with the son here at Pour322 Coffee House, and then of course the newly opened the Bungalow. Christine Orr, she is with Discover Downstate Illinois, and then of course Wendy File with the Chamber of Commerce, the president CEO, and then of course Zack Bair, the son of Jeff, who has gone into partnership with his dad and running the coffee house, and I'm sure you guys are running everything together and keeping things going. What can you leave us with the passion and what Belleville brings to its community and those that come to visit? And anybody that would like to just share anything, please let us know before we, end the show today.
I'll start. I think it's just that Belleville has a passion to see Belleville grow itself. So there is not one person that's going to get left behind in the city. Everybody's here to pick each other up, be it downtown or at the west end, the east end, north and south. The only way we can grow is to grow together. And so it's if we're not all successful, none of us are going to be successful.
So true.
And so in order to work together, we have to support each other. And I think Belleville is really good about supporting each other and just, when times are at need, making sure that the need is met. And I think for 200 years old, Belleville is becoming more innovative and become creative and meeting the needs of the younger generation, which are not the same needs that you and I had. They are
Right.
completely different. But, that's what we're looking for, is we're looking for the future now. We're not looking at the past. Past has great lessons, but now we have to look towards the future and where we're going. And I think, with the help of Main Street and, Jeff and Zach and you younger owners coming in, that's where we're going, is we're going towards the future. We're not stuck in the past anymore.
But you're still keeping that feel of that old community type feel with the parades and all the fun things that you do. Did you want to add to that, Jeff?
It's community. I think Wendy said it all in a nutshell. Truly, it's just about working together, and I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's what's the best thing about what's going on right now, because we are all working together. And I think that's awesome.
Christine, anything you want to add
I
with
think from a
with Illinois?
tourism perspective, thank you. That's so nice. Generous like that.
And don't
Thank you,
drop the
thank
mic
you.
when you're done.
Yeah, long time listener, first
Mic
time
drop.
caller.
First time caller.
From a tourism
a new
aspect,
fan.
I think Belleville is a destination, especially, Belleville as a whole, but downtown Belleville, Main Street, you can come here, you can shop, you can eat, you can see a movie, you can see and hear live music. There's so many things to do, and it's a draw. And I think that as a community, and Wendy does a great job, the merchants down here do a great job. It's just as a whole, it's a great community to visit, and I suggest everyone do it for sure.
And Zach, you're the young, really. You're the youth coming up. With your dad, with your business here. Give us some inspiration.
So, we do work a lot with Downstate, which is, an exceptional opportunity. But, having the chamber that we have, having the Main Street that we have, and having the right people in the right positions makes a world of difference. Dad sits on the chamber board. I sit on the board of Main Street, which was an incredible opportunity, still is. I sit with incredible business owners down here. But, we had a meeting yesterday that we normally, and this sounds terrible, but we all own small businesses, so the meetings need to be quick and efficient. But yesterday we could have sat for hours. That is how beautifully that meeting went, because ideas were just flowing and coming. And the young woman who directs it, she has a young family, and she understands the reality of the shift of how we need to be moving down here. And I think that's really key, is remembering that as much as we have an incredible nightlife down here, that we are a very family-oriented community. The idea of being able to bring your kids and being able to experience multiple things and multiple avenues down here, it's really something to remember that we are that kind of destination. We aren't just nightlife, which is pretty incredible down here at night, I'm not going to lie. The variety of restaurants, the incredible drink opportunities, again, all the different events that we have, which are great, but we are a family-oriented community. That is something that I think we need to really harp on for a little bit, because people forget that you can bring your kids down here.
Yes,
and like we had our first ever event for kids, really 100% for kids. Kids Day. It was
Awesome.
we and don't misinterpret, when you start an event, you're going to get some people. Over 1,000 people. Over 1,000 people showed up. It was just none of us could have imagined, and the weather, of course, was chamber weather.
Yeah.
It was
Sure
perfect.
was.
It was perfect, and it just
if you
worked out
design
well.
weather, if you could bring some
No
our way,
kidding.
we
No
really
kidding.
appreciate it.
I always say that's the job you can never get fired at, because Mother Nature's always so unpredictable, right? So, it's great. Like you said, it snows in the morning, it's hot in the afternoon. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we can't thank you enough for having us here. And question? Did you hear?
Yeah,
People want to know why
Oktoberfest-
October is in September.
It's in September because it is a German. It is there's nobody over there for me to look at, so I don't know why I'm looking over there.
Good
But
look at Look at R2D2 right here.
that's all you have to do. Anyway, Oktoberfest is in September because in Germany that is when Oktoberfest is celebrated. So they follow the traditional schedule in Germany.
Don't they drink beer every day in Germany?
Well, they do, but they celebrate really, really heavily
Imagine
in
that.
September. But it's
Now we're
Oktoberfest.
really going to drink beer this week.
So September 15th and 16th, you can come out and celebrate the German heritage in September for Oktoberfest, which is not in October.
That was a good
Perfect.
question, because I didn't really know the answer either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I'm glad that somebody asked that.
See, intelligent people.
I know.
Wonder if they knew the answers.
It was a
Heard
test,
it here
right?
first.
Well, we definitely want to
Mic drop.
say that we understand what you're saying, and that is really what Gordon and I are all about. That's how we've taken our magazines, which are, fabulous articles and press. Everything is in there to support the businesses, the great articles, to make sure the businesses are seen. We're out in the community, and that's why we took our show from She Said, He Said, which was on radio, and turned it into, we do a taping of our show in studios where we bring people in for segments, but we love being out on the road and being live in different cities from different businesses, and that's what we do. We bring things to people, and if we can't get everybody here, we can get them here by technology. So it's really important to help community to grow and to help one another succeed. That's what makes everything happen. So that's what we're all about, and love being a part of, the way you think as well in business. And we appreciate having us out, and we'll be back in October having some fun talking about all of the new happenings and things going on, and who will be the lucky guest that will sit in the seat that we'll get to meet next time. We appreciate that. So you can get to the City Lifestyle magazines at citylifestyle.com. You can actually put your Clayton, St. Charles, or Chesterfield in there, be able to see those. I'm excited for my new book, my children's book, Oh Olive, that will be out in September. The launch party is September 28th, right there in Newtown where the book takes place. And of course, that's my child, Olive, the love of my life. It used to be Gordon, and then we got Olive. Yeah. So
I used to get the same looks that Olive gets now. It's like,
I walk by her and kiss her face and
Olive
rub
gets
her, and
fed
he's
before
like,
I do.
Actually, I don't feed them at all, but sometimes, I hand feed them, but no. So we have our big hot list party that is coming up, and you should have gotten your invitation
We're
for
gonna be there.
September. I'm so excited for September 7th, and it's a way for people to meet in person and get together and have fun. So it's all about community. It's all about growth, and we appreciate being able to be here today at Grimm Gorly, at Pour at 322 Coffee House, and of course talking about the new bungalow that we're going to walk down and get to see. So thank you for having us at this beautiful destination location. We really highly recommend you come see Belleville. Any time of the year there's something fun going on. I know I love Christmas, and when the little house is set up for Santa Claus, it's just like I went back to when I was a child. So do you want to say anything? Because you're so busy with the buttons. Would
I
you like to
am.
say hi?
No, it's like, I love the conversation, and I love just being home. It's kind of home for me, so in a way. So it's just
Your
great
mom's
to be
probably
here.
waiting for you to stop by afterwards.
She
but-
is. In fact, she said, make sure you stop by on the
Yeah,
way. And it's
but
like,
we've gotta get
I'm a
Casey
horrible
back.
son, so I had to call and make sure that she knew we were on today.
Yeah.
Because my mom is, 93
You're not a
now?
horrible son. It's
93
okay.
now?
Oh my
Yeah.
Going on
Yeah.
like
And my dad used to buy flowers from you guys when he was still alive all the time. My dad was that guy that would, if anybody had a funeral or a special occasion, he would buy them flowers and send it. And he was a teacher at Belleville West. So I grew up watching Rusty Lish. I grew up watching all the, the Wiley brothers play basketball, so
That's pretty
Belleville's
great.
pretty home to me.
You really are home. That's right. That's cool.
Well, In Your City Show, you can go to inyourcityshow.com, see past shows. The new shows will be up there as well. Of course, our YouTube channel, In Your City Show, as well as Facebook and every other social media channel. You can find us on there. I'm Kelly Lamb Montgomery with Gordon Montgomery. So until the next show, peace.
Peace.